Hi everyone. Long-term rentals are what I would say are probably a year or more, and they sign a contract, they sign a lease. Short-term rentals are things like Airbnb, Verbo, even Booking.com, where people stay for a few days, perhaps as long as 3 months. But I would say 3 months or less really is probably a short-term rental. You could argue for 6 months or 9 months, I suppose, but I think that's getting into long-term rental territory. The regulations for short-term rentals are usually quite different, so check with your local city hall to see how that is, and it even varies between country to country. Short-term rentals tend to happen in vacation homes, even trailers. There's a huge variety, and as I say, they stay for a little while. That's why it's called short-term rental. Why do it? Because you can make a lot more money with a short-term rental than you can with a long-term rental. Why not do it? Well, a long-term rental is steady, less problems. Just you get to know the renter well, and it's steadier income and less problems. Short-term rental is more. You have to be more proactive with it and deal with things day to day because every guest is different. Short-term rentals too will impact your neighbors differently than long-term rentals. If you have a long-term renter, people get to know him or her and adjust to them. Short-term, it can be different all the time, which, as I say, you can make more money, but there are challenges with that as well. So depending on whether you're going to buy for yourself or buy to short-term rent or buy for long-term rental income, the criteria for what you buy is going to change. If you're buying for short-term rental, as mentioned before, you want to find a place that's easy to find. If you're doing long-term rental, then the criteria is different. You can really buy wherever you want. If it's a short-term rental, you're going to want to attract renters, so it should be an attractive place. My Airbnb units usually have a theme. One has kind of a Wild West theme. Another has a 1950s theme, but I'm now thinking of turning it into kind of a 1950s, 1960s Hawaiian theme, because I host in Hawaii. I host in Japan, and Japanese are very much into Hawaii, so I'm thinking about that. And our third unit is a beautiful Canadian house that came on a ship from Canada, and lots of wood, so it's sort of British or Canadian style. It's a beautiful home. I don't mess with it much. It's naturally just a really pretty house. So when you design your short-term rental, you need to think about what would be attractive for guests, what do they need, what do they want, as opposed to a long-term rental where you don't have to furnish it unless you want to, I suppose.